My name's Hal Blanks, and I was born in New Orleans. Lived there till I was 7. Then my family, we all moved to Huntsville, Alabama, where I grew up, and Huntsville's sort of a big engineering town, so it always had more of an engineering slant. I went to Vanderbilt for undergraduate, got a degree in biomedical engineering. And at that point I did some research, some cardiac research with one of the engineers, and I began to get interested in cardiology at that point. I then stayed on at Vandy for medical school. I thought their internal medicine program was very strong. I stayed there for internal medicine as well. At that point I knew I wanted to do cardiology. They often say it's good to go to different schools to get different slants on things, so I switched and went to Wake Forest for my cardiology fellowship. After fellowship, I went to work in the rural area of North Carolina in the mountains. I spent 5 years there, enjoyed it. Honestly, it was every other night call, and I have a family, and after a certain period of time I knew that was just not going to work. Trey Chandler, who is a part of the group here, Trey and I trained together in Wake Forest, and so I called them and said, hey, are you guys looking? And they were, and came down here, and I've been here ever since then. It's been about 5 years. I think, you know, again, coming from Huntsville and everyone having an engineering degree, I went into biomedical engineering thinking, well, I'm sort of interested in the medicine, but if that doesn't work out, I can always fall back and be an engineer. And I did do a research project that was more heart-related than engineering-related. And at that point, I really thought this is very interesting. And then when I went through my residency program, or actually my medical school program, I sort of thought about general surgery and was kind of lined up to do a general surgery track. And then I had a cardiology rotation, and I really enjoyed that. So that's when I made the switch to doing adult cardiology. My area of specialization is just being a general cardiologist, okay? And I think that that's an extremely important role in the overall cardiology makeup, because my role is really in talking to the patient and trying to diagnose the patient, and then the patient and I trying to set off on a course of treatment. Okay, so it's more than just looking at an image or looking at an x-ray. It's really hands-on, talking to the patient, making sure they understand their disease process, and then the two of us charting a path as to how to treat the disease that they have, and to try to come up with the proper imaging techniques to better define the problem that they have. We have a wide range of imaging techniques here, from ultrasound to coronary CT angiography, which is kind of the latest and the greatest. All of them have their own different particular roles, and I think it's important that the patient understands which imaging technique that we're using and the reason that we're doing it. There are an expounding number of imaging modalities in cardiology. From echo, which is ultrasound, same way you look at babies, you look at the heart. It's nice because it doesn't involve radiation and we can get some good pictures. To nuclear cardiology, which allows us to sort of get an idea about how well the heart muscle is being perfused. To recently, coronary CT angiography, which is using a CT scanner, a very fast CT scanner, to sort of re-image the heart. To bread and butter angiography, where we take you to the cath lab and literally squirt dye into the coronary arteries and view them that way. And we have all of those modalities here, which is really nice because that's not all the way it is in other places. I have a wife, a fantastic wife, and 2 awesome kids, and so my free time is sort of family time. And we do some traveling, and we're active with our church, and that's really where I center my things in family time. And that can be playing tag in the yard, to being attacked by my 2 kids when I walk home, to any one of those activities.